Please, what was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do. What do you think the cause of the Civil War was? I'm sorry?
I'm not being president. I want to see your view on the cause of the Civil War.
I mean, I think it always comes down to the role of government. We need to have capitalism. We need to have economic freedom. We need to make sure that we do all things so that individuals have the liberties so that they can have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to do or be anything they want to be without government getting in the way.
Thank you. And then in the year 2023, it's astonishing to me that you answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
What do you want me to say about slavery?
You answered my question. Thank you.
Next question.
Yeah, what's good, people? We back. Had to come through because this is serious and this is dangerous and this is something that we got to address. Talking about this quote-unquote lady, this bimbo, well, this white supremacist. That's what we're talking about. This dangerous white supremacist broad. This is a white supremacist. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a difference between a white extremist, a poor white cracker, poor white trash, and a white supremacist. This is a white supremacist operating at trying to operate at the highest levels. So what we got to do is we got to really break down where her racism stems from. No. What we're going to do, no, we're not going to, we'll do that in the future. But this right here, we're going to break down, the introduction of her, to us. Because this was the introduction of her to us for a lot of people. Black people, this is our enemy. Black people, this is our enemy. Black people, she hates all of us. She hates us. She's a politician, so she has found a way to make it sound cute and sound nice. Fam asked her, how did the Civil War start? It started because of how they wanted people's freedom and how they wanted slavery to run, and we had these niggers. That's really what she wanted to say. You get what I'm saying? So when she was asked that, right? We're going back to the introduction of her. When she was asked that, how did the Civil War start? If you want a one-word answer, if it was a multiple choice on the test, how did the Civil War start? And you got boom, 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 and slavery was a choice, you would select slavery. That would be the correct answer if it's a multiple choice test. But it being an open forum, a panel, where you have to expound, she got caught because the truth about the Civil War, yes, it started over slavery. Everybody said, oh man, it started over slavery, it started over slavery, it started over slavery. Yes, it did. What was the point exactly about slavery? Did it start because they weren't giving the slaves enough lemonade? Did it start because they burnt the biscuits? How did it, what point? The point about slavery that started the Civil War was that these slaves are making you so much money that we can't compete, that we got to do something. And going to war was something that they had to do. Freeing the slaves was a condition of winning the war or losing the war. If the North lost the war, there would still be slavery. There would be slavery on paper, I should say, because slavery still exists. But Nikki Haley knows that. She knows that. So when she's asked a question about the Civil War, she got to find a way to not mention black people's worth. The Civil War is all basically, we don't have to reparations. We got reparations after that. We did. for 7 years, and then they sent the Klan out to burn all of it down. So, boom, that don't count. They got to pay for that too. So, but think about it. The reparations came in 1907, and slavery, the emancipation was signed in 1865. So think about that, right? So Nikki Haley knows that the worth of these quote-unquote slaves is what started the Civil War. And she had to put it in a way so that is never talked about or mentioned. And that's my problem when we're talking about the Civil War, because when we talk about it, they just think, oh man, it's about the North had a good heart. The North had morals. The North was so, they were good people. The liberals were such a good people. They freed the slaves. And that's why I keep having to reiterate, nobody gave a shit about black people. The world has been taught to not give a shit about black people. I don't know why that's a foreign thing to understand. Matter of fact, it's not. You understand it. You just don't want to say it. So, go back to the Civil War, right? Abraham Lincoln being the president, the South, the slaves were making the South so much money because the Union and the Confederacy didn't share money. The slaves were making the Confederacy so much money. The free labor, because that's what it is, free labor. Imagine having free labor. Imagine somebody working at Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut don't have to pay nobody, right? Pizza Hut would just be super rich. So the free labor was making the Confederacy so much money that the North couldn't compete with that. So what Abraham Lincoln had to do, being the president of the Union, he had to reach out to other countries that knew about the chattel slavery in the South, because everybody want to talk about the slavery and it was everywhere in the world. No, chattel slavery was only one place in the world, And so Abraham Lincoln had to reach out to all of these countries, and he had to do what's going on now, or what went on with inflation. He had to print up so many dollar bills just to make it look like they competed. The dollar bills were not backed by anything. That's what he had to do to compete with the South, with the Confederacy. So think about that. The free labor was making so much money that the president of the Union had to reach out to other countries and do inflation to just to be able to compete. So when Nikki Haley is asked what started the Civil War, she knows all of this. She knows all of that. She knows way more than I do about this. And so, matter of fact, I'm saying that, right? I'm saying that just based off how you gonna run for president and you don't know. She may or may not know, because white people love to play dumb. And so when she's asked, how did the Civil War start? If you want a one-word answer, yes, slavery. Boom. Okay. What's next after that? What's the question after that? What about slavery? Was it the biscuits? So, what about slavery? She's been on a campaign to talk around that. Oh, I had black friends growing up. Oh, I got picked on when my family immigrated. We weren't white enough and we weren't black enough. You know what I'm saying? No, you trust me, you were white enough. That's the box you're checking off now, right? So we have to really understand this, and her nasty trickery and her nasty games of what she's doing, because she's up here talking. She knows that the media has a campaign against Trump, so she's talking as if trying to get the people on her side that don't like him, just thinking that she can gather enough women that don't like him and gather enough people enough men that's, been bustified and just follow whatever the woman says to follow them. She's banking on that just to put black people back into slavery, which is why she doesn't want to talk that much about the Civil War. So just know that she is a true enemy of us. So I'm gonna go and get out of here, man. I'm gonna be back on her later. I got more. I'm back.